It is time for your WIN podcast for super busy professionals sharing transformational moments. Your host, Chu Tang.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to your WIN podcast. Today, I have my special guest with me, Vincent. Welcome, Vincent.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chu.
So, Vincent, I'm just going to go straight to the one question for the podcast, which is to share a transformational moment that changed your life, from that moment on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say my transformational moment is fairly recent. I recently, at the end of last year, have decided to kind of transition out of my stable role as a physical therapist in a hospital setting to open up my own solo physical therapy practice.
Wow.
Which I opened in November of last year. It's called Focused Physical Therapy. But the transformational moment around that really comes from just my work-life balance and the struggle I was having at my previous role and in the system I was working in. And I didn't truly see how transformational it was until stepping away from that setting and really having a little more freedom with my time and how I can prioritize the things that I feel are most important to me, which right now are family.
Yes.
And so I also have a 1.5-year-old son, which was a huge driving force for this transition and work. Because like everyone experiences with a full-time role and healthcare professionals, specifically from what I can speak, it's a high volume and challenging, demanding setting. And I like to give myself 100% in everything I do. However, when you have multiple roles, it's kind of impossible to do that. And when 40 hours of the week is the most engaging part of your day, a lot of times you don't bring much home with you. And I was recognizing that just in my partnership with my amazing wife, and then also just the energy I was able to bring with my son. But stepping away and even 1-2 months out, and now it's been a few months since then, I could not have been more happy and proud to have made that decision. And yes, daunting and scary, and a lot of challenges and patience required to step away from something so stable and venture into something that is so new. For me, I've never been a business owner. It kind of just speaks to maybe how challenged I was in my previous role, stepping into all of this adversity. But I would not be able to do this without the amazing support of my wife. She has a great role, and she works very hard. She's an amazing mother. So it's been really nice to just step away from the work and be a present father and a present partner to her as well. But yeah, I mean, the transformation also is just in my perspective and what is important. I think I'll take the lessons I learned from that previous role, being dedication and hard work and volume are important. However, what are our goals, and what are we working towards? And taking a step back sometimes to truly understand what is my why, and how do I find a balance between what I want and what I need. And yeah, I think it's been a lot of growth in the last several months, but I'm very happy with where I am. And the business is still young, so it's growing, but I'm hopeful and hopefully, good quality physical therapy care gets spread through, word of mouth. And
Yes, yes.
and I appreciate you having me on your podcast to potentially promote my business as well.
Yep. Yeah. No, thank you so much.
And
yeah. I mean, the brief time, I think you gave me like what, 5 minutes of physical therapy session, and oh my God, that's already changed the way that I do things, because I've seen so many physical therapists before, and nothing helped.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
and just to speak on kind of my physical therapy approach and the approach of my practice focused physical therapy, I really our approach being the 3 E's. So the first E would be engage. So engagement through active listening. And then educate, so educating on relevant factors, and then empowering the individual. So empowering the individual to, truly self-manage, because, as physical therapists, we don't have any medical management. We don't, there are some kind of hands-on or passive treatments that can help, but ultimately, we are educating the individuals and trying to empower folks to make behavioral changes, which are very hard. I mean, it's hard to change behavior, and especially behavior that is fixed into our day-to-day, behavior being our movements. And it's hard to first recognize that, but I think that's where I can come in and help. And that engagement part, that active listening part, I think that's something that's lacking in the healthcare system in general, just because of the time demands. I think everyone has limited time with their patients, and everyone is challenged by it, both, providers and patients. But I think just slowing down slightly, or just being a little more in tune with that active listening component to truly hear what someone has to say. We spoke for a few minutes, and I just have to listen and ask the right questions, and also understand what you need, and finding that balance between what an individual wants, what they need, as far as, the education component, and truly, does someone even need physical therapy? And so I'm here to provide, honest, reliable care, and provide quality that they might be missing in their typical insurance model.
Yeah, and you were 100% present. Yeah. And then your education was so simple, because now when I do jump rope, I think about, like working on that shoulder. You taught me like the shoulder, muscle, the muscle that we had to use when we sit in front of computer every day. And I was like, wow. Yeah, you remind me of my osteopath, actually. My osteopath in New Zealand. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's that education, but simple that it actually, people could actually understand, Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you had a good experience. That was a fun event that we were at.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. And I think I will share your link, once I post this podcast, and then
perfect.
Yeah, and thank you for. I think you didn't give yourself enough credit. I think it's also being who you are too. Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate that too. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you guys like this episode, come back, and until then, stay happy and hopeful. Thank you, Vincent. So what do you think of the podcast?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. This is my first time doing a podcast. And,
oh, really?
Yeah. So it's I was taken aback by your request, and I was happy to do it. I think, I'm still learning how to brand and market myself. This is very new to me as far as being a business owner, but this is this is really fun. And, I think it helps that this is a nice, quick podcast.
Yeah. And I
made
think
it easy on me.
I think you being really authentic and it really helps a lot too. Like, like be honest about, your path and all that. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you an unrelated question.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite celebrity?
Favorite celebrity? I have many favorite celebrities, but I feel like one that sticks out almost every time is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So,
Oh.
and I don't know, maybe people think that's funny, but I grew up at the time when he was a big professional wrestler, and I watched a lot of WWE, WWF, and he, he was described as the most electric man in sports entertainment, and I wholeheartedly believe that. It's just fun to watch, engaging, and now he's doing, movies, comedies. I think he's just a great individual.
Would you like to meet him one day?
I would absolutely love that. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty down to earth person.
Yeah, he seems like it.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks for coming on the show. I just thought, doing something fun at the end. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thank you. I thought after you said, "Would you like to meet him?" I thought he was going to come on screen with us. I got excited.
Oh.
No, I'm
well,
joking.
I will definitely tag his name on when I post it on YouTube, and who knows, right? Who knows?
That's right. Yes.
He might need physical therapy too. So.
Perfect. I've got him.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share. See you soon at Your Win Podcast.